Okay, so I was actually testing the encryption of me posting something publicly on Go Live. I did not want this to be Go Live. I wanted it to be formal and a video for family files. I am introducing myself again. I am Katia, Katia, on my birth certificate. Katia, Kutia. Donnette, Donnette, HENSON, HENSON. Born from Donald W. Henson and married to Sandra L. Henson. Both my parents were rape victims. My mother was raped at 5 in the projects of Baltimore City. The assailants were never captured. 2 teenage assailants while she was being babysat. My father, Donald Henson, was raped with his siblings by his biological father. I knew my grandfather of him, but when I was at the house, I hid underneath the table and hung out with my grandmother. My grandmother has pressed down pain. However it came to be that she was assigned to a man that would rape his own children, he threatened her life and theirs. The psychological damage to my family is egregious. I'm not just some ordinary princess. I'm not some ordinary queen. My aunt and uncle left here, America, in the 70s as Catherine and Gregory Henson. They came back McKinney and Ogun. They sent back from Africa via telegraph to Mercy Hospital my name, Katia, Kutia. They left on this Mecca to release the curse that was put on our family in Baltimore. The OES Masonic curse. They did that in the 70s. My name has been known, and who I was known from Africa in prophecy. There's no one that could have stood in front of that. Not Kevin Michael Crosby, who became my legal husband in this lifetime, nor Andre Deuce Bazemore II, who I had no idea of before my association to my ex-husband, legally. Kevin and I are bonded. The issue is that Kevin bonded himself to me and did not quit. He did not turn himself in. He did not turn over himself in the money that I gave him. He did not stop. He was assigned as my assassin, as many others were. The gift that is my life is a prophecy that came from God above. Many, many people were involved in me being here. The United States government has known of my existence since my father became an army man and before my birth. So I say this because it needs to go on the record. I want to keep this under a certain time frame because of the importance of this message at this time and day on December the 24th, 2016, as it's known to us by a calendar year. I need Dennis KEMP Sr. to know where forgiveness is. I followed Dawn Jones into the light of ZETA. She was the first person that I met on the campus at Coppin State College following a magical scholarship from OES that I did not realize was a magical scholarship until much later in life. LaWanda Renee Beal Wilson was attached to me spiritually. She is the plague that I would avoid from this lifetime to the next. Dawn Jones is a princess that has become a queen. Dawn Jones Kemp is a dead woman, and it should be that way, the same as Katia Donnette Henson Crosby has been a dead woman for a very long time. And this is the separation of church and state. Dawn Jones started her process as a sweetheart in the spring of '92, an OES sweetheart line under Naughty Nugama, meaning there were members of Zeta Phi Beta sorority involved in bringing her through her first part of being an Order of Eastern Stars person. Her name was Flying Nun 3. Why? Because she locked her knees during a ROTC exercise. Alpha Zeta, the graduate chapter, had a long-standing rivalry between the members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated at Coppin State College versus Morgan State. That usurped process generated a lifetime of misery and pain, and Zeta Phi Beta Sorority will own it. I will be the president of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated come 2020. Dawn Jones Kemp will be my backup. She will not be known as Dawn Jones Kemp. She is on a path and a mecca of her own of spiritual proportion. Dawn Jones did not take any oath that she did not uphold with me. Her only shortcoming is that she was a baby child of an adult family. Her family and her mom and dad were elders. Senior people 40 plus having a child. Dawn lived at home until she was married. I taught Dawn how to drive. I made sure Dawn had a license. Dawn was everything to me. I never called her anything less than big sister, and she couldn't understand it. I knew who I was before she did. And I didn't follow her in an empty way. And they made her a fake Zeta, a model of a woman when she was never that. She was conflicted by the same paradigm that conflicted many people in this, and we can't take account for. We weren't born in 1920. We were born in the 70s. And I say that because she married a man, Dennis Kemp Sr., and she had a magical romance on Coppin State's campus. He was the director of finance. He took his third strike marrying Dawn. And no way will we ever let our legacy child, a third-generation Alpha Phi Alpha baby, Dennis Kemp Jr., die in a vat of water on his 13th birthday. It's a Facebook rumor. I can feel every spirit attached to me, and DJ I've known since before he was a twinkle in his daddy's eye. No one is going to let Dawn take that fall. Her mother passed, and she was given the appropriate memorial. I know where Dawn stands. Dawn stands on the side of pressed down pain. She came from Northern, but with that she grew to be an educated woman at Coppin State College. With that, she stood up into a marriage whereby she got on a plane and had a fantasy wedding on a destination island. Dawn's snarky shortcomings always undermined our relationship. But what did come forward is that she was always candid and honest, even with Dennis and everyone else, about how much she loved me. And how she could admit that I was right more than anything. She holds dearly to Dennis and DJ. Does she deserve a life of divorce? Does she deserve a life of separation and isolation? No. She deserves her family back and whole the same way I do. The one that was ordained. Her husband has been instrumental as a very much legacy of FIA. A very much stood up man in this that has more than one legacy. He was instrumental in getting the financing and the institution of the MLK Memorial, Junior Memorial, on the White House lawn, we'll say. He was instrumental in that, in the National Memorial. No way his son, his last legacy, is deceased. I know where DJ is at all times. What we're not going to do is carry forward with this pain. There are very few people I don't want to see in this future lifetime. LaWanda, George Hemingway Jr., Kevin Michael Crosby, who took no responsibility, and Andre Deuce Bazemore II, who burned us all to the ground through Hannibal Lodge number 8. I've seen the insignificance compared to the legacy of who we are. I've lived it and walked it, and so have you all now. We're in a new day and age on this day of record, December the 24th, 2016. My internal clock tells me it is 5096. Mary Bo Wright and her husband James Wright raped a society to checkmate the first white president in the White House as a Sigma. Those ambassadors that I was asked to call out are those two. They will face treason charges, and it will be public in the news of Phi Beta Sigma and Zeta Phi Beta, and we are ready for that. We are ready to exonerate that Freddie Gray is not dead. He was an informant. And he was being chased and hunted internally and externally. His mother celebrated his life being high on the news. In the aftermath of receiving the funds, Baltimore has had 300 murders plus a year, unsolved by gangs. Chicago, where the Obamas are originating from. Detroit. And we can't forget Los Angeles riots and what happened with Rodney King. We can't forget the O.J. Simpson. I was instrumental in that, and Delta chapter of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity at Coppin State College has already seen the attacks on me. A gentleman that was there and made a Sigma was gunning for me. And he ended up killing and murdering an innocent girl. And they sat through an 8-year murder trial or murder conviction for him. Where he may be today, I don't know. I'll never know those things until I know. But as I know, we've suffered. And Alpha Zeta is the first graduate chapter of Zeta Phi Beta sorority, which I gave my life to by membership only. I was a sweetheart, and I learned and brought with me all of UC. I was this warrior before I ever stepped on Coppin's campus. And no way will Dennis Kemp Sr., Don Jones Kemp as birth and marriage, or Dennis Kemp Jr. ever fail or suffer for that. I know where Don has been. Dawn took the high road for Naughty Nu Gamma. She snatched chapters. She worked on the executive board for Cheryl Underwood. Those individuals that spent their time to go to the Supreme Court to usurp Cheryl Underwood's presidency usurped an entirety of a nation. We see Cheryl every day on the TV. They didn't like her because she told potty mouth jokes. Never will an insignificant queen that gave a water well in Ghana, where I originated from, never will she usurp an entire nation in our 100th year. She didn't come from 1920, and I would have chained myself to Myrtle Tyler Faithful's gravesite and not moved under any circumstances until she faced treason charges. She has no soul. And neither does her husband. They wanted the pair of Clintons as Zetas and Sigmas for a model. Is it model-esque right now? It is not. Between ACN, our multi-level marketing that was backed by Sir-elect President Trump, that crossfired Renee McFarland, that crossfired Sidney Cutchin, that crossfired Wayne Brooks, a decorated and dedicated anchored Omega man from Morgan State University. No, thank you. Coppin State Eagles fly. And we've got our eagle eye on this entirety. Therese Marion was a decorated state trooper that reported to the White House. The credentials within Delta and Naughty Nu Gamma and Nu Gamma in general in its 50th year in 2017 are anchored in the Divine Nine and the National Panhellenic Council. Never, not ever, will we turn over this world to anyone. That's why we took the oath. That's why we were dedicated as Divine Nine to be collegiate, black collegiates, giving us foothold into all of the divine secret services, the federal agencies, the Department of Homeland Security, and everything that was to be. We take our oath, and we say blood, sweat, and tears, and we cross burning sands to get here. Dawn went through her process, and so did I. Her code name is Flying Nun. Mine is Rasta, And we're in the age of freedom of Jah Rastafari and any persecution of green, Native Americans. We did not ask for cocaine. We did not ask for corruption. We did not ask for Columbus to steal us and give Italian Americans a freedom day that is indigenous to all people. We accept worldwide this peace treaty, but what we will not do is bury ours again. This is at the highest level of the Supreme Court and the Federal Order of Eastern Stars and Masonic worldwide. It did not start or originate in the United States, and it will not stop. We've been made. We will continue to lose those, and they will continue to be reborn and back into bodies that we can protect. They are no longer targeted individuals. Whoever designed a life of hell and heaven and on this earth did it wrong. We're the cyber war and cyber technology era. This is settled. We have ADT security worldwide. All of those Guardian and Vintage and original security companies that were put in place were not here to protect the U.S. Mint or the Patent Office. We in Naughty and we within Delta, and it's not just Naughty, New Gamma, Delta has anchored up to the White House individuals. So does Gamma and Gamma. And wherever Mary Boatwright came from, Lambda chapter, this is Lambda Gamma Zeta, Howard County representing. And we have shut this down Zeta Omega style. Whatever Divine Nine breach that happened so long ago to continue to create us, we've created a 10th, solidifying a 10th sorority to counterbalance iota. This is over. And I say a sister sorority when we already have 5, so what does that mean? It's a brother fraternity. 5 and 5. Right? Divide that any way you want, because I said it on a remix for a reason. Do the math for yourself. What you won't do is abuse me, use me, or anyone else I am connected to spiritually. This is over on the Cross of Zeta. Dawn sponsored me and LaWanda. And I live to tell you she was a good woman and she did everything she was supposed to do. She gets her family back. Whatever her insecure shortcomings were, they have been forgiven by all. She's not a fake Zeta. And neither am I. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated lives on indefinitely. And all of the Divine 9 to be the Calendar 10. This is over. Bless up. Love up for this holiday season. We will have a holiday every day that we see light. We will bury and mourn our lost bodies appropriately. But you all can see the light. May the divine holy union of our superiors that may be, our elders that have passed, God and the higher powers that we call upon in name, and God, goddess, and goddesses as we touch the ground here. We are divine and united, one world, and we will progress with scholarship, progress with persistence, and progress with perseverance within the Divine 9 and beyond. We've reset this lifetime, and we will own it. One for all. I am my sister's keeper, and I am my brother's keeper, and this message has been ordained by me. Taking my light and my wings, I am Phoenix Rises, Federal Order of Eastern Stars, #1, Fall 2014. Conferred as a Nobel Peace Prize candidate. Conferred as a medical doctor, psychologist, specialty from West Indies. My grandmother, Helen Sam Whiting, came here as a slave. Birthed a nanny on her certificate for residency. A nurse that worked diligently with Dr. Harold Burns Sr. Dr. Harold Burns gave birth to Harold Burns II, an esquire that has watched over my family royalty since day one. His son, Harold Burns III, continues the legacy at my level with me. My daughter, born Katia Donisha Crosby Singleton, died with me in a fiery crash on 83, heading to a Western reunion. She is now Samantha Sabrina Perkins at her birth. She did what she needed to do, including following Don and everyone that told her in the Divine Nine to keep her head low. I won't see her, as she needs space to be herself, and I need that too. We've been bonded for 25 years, and she's not a slave to me, and I not a slave to her. That queen will own that 10th planet of brother and sisterhood. Thank you to all my supporters and followers. Thank you to all that pressed down with pain and love. This uplift goes to the KEMP family and the KEMP legacy under Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1906. We bless up Martin Luther King Jr., who was the first martyred, assassinated. He was our legacy for civil rights, and our tripod of Malcolm X on the forefront was under Omega. Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporation, thus anchoring Nati Nugama and Nugama 50 years ago on his birthday. We also accept and impress President Obama and First Lady Obama and their family. We took this oath to have a united front and a peace treaty signed off 1400 years ago plus. We live to honor it. Continue to bless it. Those others will fall off and are surrounded. They have no means. They have no legalities. I expect to see my birthright given husband and king, King James Arthur Perkins, Esquire, this lifetime, legacy Omega man from Morgan State as we met, and my family, Dana Marshall, yes, Dana Eric Marshall, Whiting by legality, is my birth and blood. Him, the Omega man that sit on the treaty of love that come between me and that relationship in the grip that they held at that university on that beautiful night, November 2008. He is my Obama, and I get him today. Freedom. And bless up. Shahira Kakingawatahu Pastin Antapa. From this queen to you. Enjoy your kingdom and your queendom. Raise up, prince and princess. Adopt and adapt. Adopt and adapt anyone that you need. Save a life. Help a soul. The rest can eat their treason charges in the jail that they asked Clinton to make for them. Federal treason charges with Sir James Fitzgerald of Howard County. And to follow. Craig Northrop to follow. And etc., etc. 9/11 was an ambush as told by Michael Moore. Let it be. We've survived that, and we've seen the lives that were lost on that day in full living color. Ronald Reagan asked for a ceasefire. He also asked to stop the drugs in America that weren't indigenous here. Coca-Cola owns the treason charges. Let Pepsi be an available thing at every restaurant in 2017, amen? Let there be a choice beyond a blood oath contract that goes back to the patent office that we never asked for. Release us from the chains, and we are an electronic society, electronic currency that is on our body and can vouch for us no matter where we go. Military secure worldwide peace treaty. Amen. Peace and bless one. One love and love one. Continuation to life hereafter.